Boom! The Oklahoma Sooners add to its recruiting class, the 19th one of the 2026 class, in wide receiver 3-star Xavier ZiZi Okwufulueze. That's a mouthful. We'll pray that it's right. So we're going to dive into him. We're going to look at the measurables and why Oklahoma went after him in particular, because he is part of the OKPrep agenda. He's an Oklahoma kid, but there's something about him that the Sooners did like. So let's take a look at that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports, a Hog Media production. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. This video is powered by our partners over at Sleeper. Download the app, use our promo code UNFAIR, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. So we got to dive into this recruitment because Oklahoma, this is the 19th one. They've added an additional player to the class, which is, of course, critical. It's the second wide receiver that's committed to Oklahoma. But the Sooners are not done shopping. There's a couple of big name players they're going after on top of this. And so, but I'm excited about ZiZi. When I watch the tape, which we're going to go through, we'll go through the measurables and we'll talk through why Oklahoma is considering him as a viable option for this class. We know Emmett Jones likes larger wide receivers, and he's definitely one of those. So let's take a gander at the measurables and let's talk about why ZiZi Okwufulueze. Ever heard of the Sleeper app? Here's a little secret. It's more than just a platform for season-long fantasy leagues. They also have daily fantasy. This year, millions of users enjoy playing fantasy sports on Sleeper, but the app offers so much more, like live stats, so you can see real-time updates and visualize all the stats that's going on. It's got a news feed that gets you lightning fast updates of your favorite players and teams and anybody that you've picked. You can pick up to 2 to 5 players, more or less based upon their stats, and boom, win some real money. And it's also real-time chat where you can engage with other users about individual plays and performances during the NFL, college football, and NBA season. So download the #1 sports app today and experience it for yourself. Use our promo code UNFAIR and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. All right, take a gander at ZiZi. ZiZi comes in here at 6'4", 198 pounds. He's a 3-star out of Owasso, Oklahoma, Rejoice Christian School, which is, if I'm correct, either 1A or 2A. I've seen conflicting information on it, but he's at Rejoice Christian School. So not very well known, but at the same time, the dude's listed roughly 6'4", 6'5", almost 200 pounds already in his size. He plays basketball as well as football. They said he's a 3-star prospect. When you go over to 247, they had him ranked at about 520th nationally, the number 40 athlete, and the number 8 player in the state of Oklahoma. As we all know, Oklahoma is looking at, definitely want to get good OK preps, ones that they can invest in. And I like the possibility of ZiZi. When I watched his tape, not only is he athletic, but he's fast. He did track and field back in his middle school days, but he also plays basketball at Rejoice, and he's a two-way. So he plays corner as well as playing wide receiver. He finished last year at 46 catches, 901 yards, 9 touchdowns on 19.6 yards per catch. Jeez. He also had 31 tackles, 4 picks, and he returned 2 for touchdowns. So that tells you everything you need to know about his skill set and what he's capable of. And what Oklahoma wants to do is they're looking to grab, of course, OK preps. They want guys like this. I mean, when you see the highlights here, he just breaks apart and he's gone. Now, small school ball, I know a lot of you aren't going to be super excited about that, but I am. Mainly because I love small school football when you got guys that are just super athletic. Sometimes they just pop out on the screen and they show you they're the best player out there. And his recruitment is starting to pick up. He's got a lot of local offers from TCU, Arkansas, Kansas State. Then, of course, the 2 in-state schools, Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, Tulsa, the 3 in-state schools. Boston College reached out. Utah's even going after him. And we know Utah has done a really good job of recruiting not only in Oklahoma, but receivers just nationally. They've gotten some pretty solid players over the last few years. And you can tell when teams know how to find an under-the-radar player that they can leverage. And I like what ZZ's profile is. Like I said, he adds to what Oklahoma's trying to do. You know that Emmett Jones loves a big wide receiver. And so, to me, he's one that probably could stand out a lot more if he was at a bigger school. And I think his skill set 100% translates no matter where he's playing at. Kind of makes me think about Elijah Thomas, just not as a ridiculously athletic, because I think Elijah Thomas is going to be a massive star in college football just because of his skill set. But I like what ZiZi has to offer, because I think that he's going to be, like I said, one of those players that will provide Oklahoma with a really good potential project at the wide receiver spot, that once he refines all his skill set, he could show up and be big. Like Jaden Gibson was one of those that we were curious about when he came in, and at his size, he kind of struggled as a freshman, and then Emmett Jones got a hold of him sophomore year. He looks great. Now we're just waiting for him to come back from injury and be something special, but it never hurts to have a 6'4", 6'5" wide receiver that's streaking up and down the sidelines, where teams have to respect what they're doing. So when you see him, let me know what you think. Hop in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. How you feel about ZiZi and this commitment. Emmett Jones, of course, continue to work. I expect the Sooners to get at least 2 more wide receivers, and I know this weekend they've got some big-name players expected to be in town. I'm waiting for that list to drop, at least more details on some of those players. Hit up my boy PG and see who he's talked to, but I know that Oklahoma's got some talent showing up, so let me know your thoughts. All right. We'll, of course, Brent Venables is having his press conference today. We'll have some thoughts later today. Check out me and John also over on Locked On Sooners. We're talking in depth about that as well. But yeah, keep your eyes open. We're going to have us some fun this season. I expect this team to really surprise you all. We'll talk soon. Shout out to our partners over there at Sleeper for supporting the channel. Download the app. Use our code UNFAIR. So you can get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details, and we will chop it up with all of you soon. Peace.